Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. My name is Bill Horan, and I'm here today with Nassau Community College student Corey Kaufman. And today we're shining the spotlight on a leading lady who started her own business with her own bar studio.
Wait, what's this about a bar? I didn't know we were allowed to drink during these shows.
Don't get too excited, Corey. It's not that kind of bar we're talking about. It's a relatively new trending type of exercising class that maybe by the end of this interview we should be signing up for. Joining us today is Suzanne Villani, owner of BarreBlend, located at 1615 Merrick Road in Merrick. Suzanne, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, explain to us, what is bar? And we should start off by saying to our audience, that's spelled B-A-R-R-E,
That's correct.
And it's a type of exercising, so you fill us in.
Yes, so bar is a workout inspired by elements of ballet and other formats of fitness that focuses on low-impact full-body workout utilizing a wall-mounted bar, just like you would see in a dance studio.
Okay, but it's really not, you corrected me before when we were talking before the show, it's really not a dance per se move, it's an exercise class.
That's correct.
The bar just, I guess, helps us like a barbell would help us or a kettlebell or something.
The bar is a stationary prop that's used during the class that you actually rest your arm on for balance and form, so you're able to do movements with proper form. It's isolated movements, meaning you contract muscles slowly one at a time, and you're not moving a lot, so you're using your core to hold you up, and the bar is there just to rest and keep proper form.
So it's my understanding you have a background in dance. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Belmore, and I went to what they called back in those days BOCES Cultural Arts Center, which is Long Island High School for the Performing Arts. My background is dance. I went to college and became a paralegal, but always taught dance at local dance studios. And I retired about 10 years ago or so, and that's when I got interested in bar, continuing with a dance studio type of feel and focusing more on fitness.
Now, Corey, I'm probably jumping over into some of your questions, but is bar something new? Is that the way it's referred to, bar?
It is referred to as bar, and believe it or not, you'd be surprised to know it's actually pretty old. It started in the 50s. In London, there was a woman named Lottie Burke. She was a ballerina who founded this type of class, and a student of hers brought it here to New York in the early 70s and opened the first bar studio in Manhattan. That studio was around until 2005, believe it or not. It's becoming more and more popular today because they're starting to have these classes in big box gyms. So people are getting more used to seeing it, but it's something that's been around for many, many years.
I haven't heard that term, the big box gym.
The big box gym.
So this is a little more intimate, and you can work with them a little closer than the big box gyms.
Absolutely. And you'll see if you take a bar class in a big box gym, as I'm going to call it, they typically do not have wall-mounted bars. They take up a lot of space. So they'll allow clients to use body bars, which you would work out with, and you hold it the opposite way, and you use it for your balance. If you take a bar class with a wall-mounted bar, it's a total different experience, a total different class. You really can't compare the two, so it's really worthwhile to give it a try at a little boutique studio.
And is bar a good route? Is it more for ladies or for men? When we kind of have the picture of dance in there, we have an image of who we think would be going there. But is it for someone who's a senior like me, a young man like Corey, a young woman who may be going to school? Absolutely.
Bar is really great for everybody, men, women, children, seniors. The trick about bar is finding a class that you enjoy. There's a multitude of classes just ranging with music and movement. So you're going to want to find something that you just find interesting so that you're focusing on the moves instead of feeling silly like you're at a bar. Really, unless it's a dance created bar class. It's a full body workout. It's good for men and women. I just recently did a conditioning program with a local men's college basketball team. It was a great class for flexibility. The guys really liked it. They related to the class. They're definitely going to do it again. So I would say everybody really should give it a chance.
And a basketball team now, a college basketball team is doing this, you said.
Yes, I just did it last Friday night at their school, and we really got a great result from it.
So that opens up, I guess, a whole new market there. Why would someone choose bar over simply getting some weights and working with them, or what else is popular today? Maybe riding a bicycle or walking 20 miles?
Unless you try it, I think it's hard to really picture. You're actually working muscles and lengthening muscles without having any injuries on the joints. So athletes in particular, basketball players, they're jumping, they're running, they're kicking. They do a lot of heavy lifting as it is. So to add something in that's going to help them bend lower to jump higher without straining is really great, and it slows them down. Also, a good bar instructor will focus on form. Form is really important in athletes, especially. I'm finding that a lot of times they're not really putting their balance in the right spot. And if you take a minute just to really pay attention to where your weight is, you're getting so much deeper into your positions and so much better results in your jumps and your runs. So a bar class is something that really can take the time just to point these things out, and you do it over and over again, becomes second nature. And they really wouldn't get that riding a bicycle.
Corey, I'm just thinking, if that college basketball team has a good season, you're just going to see lots and lots of tall people walking into BarreBlend.
Absolutely.
And our guest Suzanne being very, very happy having them come in. But that'll be the newest cool thing in the sporting world if they have a good season.
And I figure at the very least, their moms will come to class.
But for them, certainly it makes sense, because on a basketball player, legs are so important. The constant running, the constant pounding and going up and down the court, jumping, of course. And
Absolutely. When I was getting ready to do the class, I was thinking, how do you connect with college boy basketball players, with a bar class? So, really, when I thought about it, it's not that much different than dance. The floor is really your focus in any bar class, in any fitness class, just walking down the street. So if you really connect yourself weight with the floor, you use it really as your friend, and that's really what you're getting out of a bar class. Great form, just gives you really good results.
The floor is your friend. I like that saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I want to know, what inspired you to open up your own bar class? Like, when did BarreBlend open?
So I opened this year in January. I've been certified in bar for the last 3 years. I was teaching for a yoga studio. So I really got great results from bringing bar to the studio. I found it got really popular. And working for somebody, I think you're limited in your creativity. So because of my dance background, I took my bar certifications and really took it one step further and just made up a lot of different types of classes so that I was able to offer these types of classes on a daily basis instead of just once or twice a week. So that really was my idea was to make a variety of classes that can bring people back multiple times during the week, and they'll feel like they're not doing the same thing.
Wow. Okay. So you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan. And today we're talking about the popular fitness regime Barre with Suzanne Villani, owner of BarreBlend, located at the rear of 1615 Merrick Road in Merrick.
I'm sorry, Corey, I interrupted you.
So it seems like bar it seems like it's a new thing, and do you think it's like, you remember when CrossFit got really popular and it was like that was the it thing for a while?
Absolutely.
You think bar is like, we're going to see a lot more bar places?
I have to be honest with you. Bar has been pretty popular on the West Coast for years. I think it's relatively new on the East Coast. I think the organizations that are doing certifications for bar instructors on the East Coast have actually geared themselves towards big box gyms. So I really don't anticipate there being a bar studio on every corner. I think that they're becoming more popular, and I'm hoping that people will really dedicate themselves and take the time and make small studios that are really focused and dedicated just to bar as opposed to just throwing a bar class into a studio so that people can really get the benefit out of the bar class. I don't know. I think that it's been popular for years, and for some reason, I think the amount of studios around, I'm happy to say, isn't really that many.
So you have a monopoly.
Hopefully,
all right.
Hopefully it'll stay relatively small.
Suzanne, what are some of the benefits of taking a bar class and then continuing with bar?
Bar is like any other exercise. If you work on flexibility, for instance, if you take a class for a few months and then stop taking the class for a few months and go back to the class, it's like you just started over. So it's one of those things that you're only going to get more and more from it because your muscle memory. So, once you build muscle, you'll start to grow. Your body will change physically. Your appearance will change. So I think it's something that, even myself, my body gets more and more used to exercises, and I get more and more flexible. My extensions become greater. So I think it's a class just like dance that you always can grow from. You always come up with new ideas and new movements. So I think it's something that really...
Speaking from the older population, we're not looking seriously to be the 20-inch bicep. First of all, our clothes wouldn't fit. We'd have to buy all new clothes, and that'd be a lot of trouble. But really, we do want and look for, if we could get more flexibility, get up and down, out of bed, out of the pool, without going, ouch, that hurts. And I think that's what most of us are looking for. And from what I understand from you, that's what this is, low impact.
Yep.
And you were even telling me it's especially good for people with knee and hip problems, which surprised me.
Yeah. If you, have an injury and you have a good instructor, they'll give you modifications that you can build muscles around. If it's your knee, for instance, you'll take your hamstring and your quad, you'll build muscles there, restrict your range of motion in the knee, focus on your form, and next thing you know, you're having less pain because you're using muscles around the knee instead of the joint that's actually hurt. I think it's great for people with hip problems because you're big on form, you're standing straight, you're using your core, your spine is straight, you're going to find yourself growing a quarter of an inch, without even realizing it. And it's great for strong bones. So, it's something that people should do for as long as they possibly could get out of bed.
And I've always heard that to build up the muscles around the injured part or the part that's giving you some trouble, to take away some of that pressure on it and also allow you to use the muscle that's giving you a problem or the area properly, so you don't kind of compensate and then make things worse. So.
Exactly.
Is there any success stories that you could share?
I have some dedicated clients that have come, to the studio since I've opened, and they followed me for the past year or so, and their own personal results, their changes in their body, they're feeling great, they're looking great. I'm amazed at how flexible they've become. I've had some people that, loved the concept of a ballet bar class, but never, could see themselves doing any sort of dance movements. So, here was somebody, doing what we would call a plie, and, they're squatting, they're not understanding the concept of where your weight is, and here they are now today, they're showing new people, oh yeah, we do plies in all these positions. So, to me, it's great to see because somebody becomes something that they never thought they'd be comfortable becoming, and it just happens naturally, and they enjoy it. I enjoy watching it. So
yeah, and you haven't even been open for that long. You said January, right?
I opened in January. I do have some clients that have followed me from a previous studio, but yeah, it seems, I've been told it's Merrick's best kept secret. So,
well, you have people coming in the back door, so it does seem secretive.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll let you in, but what's the secret word? Suzanne. Okay.
Exactly.
And you were telling me too, and we were talking about it. I'm a very bad golfer, but golfers are always talking about flexibility, especially as they get older. And if you look at Long Island golf courses, most of our players are older, and this adds flexibility to their bodies. And in the golf terms, which is golden, it's like free money. If you can add 10 yards or 20 yards to a drive, they come home, and that's like the bicep to a senior golfer. Oh, I hit it 250 today, or 230, or 210, or whatever would be an advancement for them, and they're on cloud nine. So if you can get a little trial group working on that, you're going to be, it won't be a secret anymore. Those golfers and the tall guys will be lining up. You won't even have room for your regular clientele.
Yeah, and I run, and sometimes I'll just forget to stretch before I start running, and it's it really beats you up after. You'll wake up and not be able to get out of bed.
Oh, and then you have that tightness in the muscle.
Yeah, because your legs are just dead. Stretching is important. It's the most important part.
That's something we really have to go into with Suzanne afterward. But right now it's time for the break. And to remind our audience that I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman. And today we're talking about the popular fitness regimen, Barre, with Suzanne Villani, owner of BarreBlend, located at 1615 Merrick Road in Merrick. And remember, go in the back door. You're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of different types of heart disease, like AFib, which is a type of irregular heartbeat. It affects both women and men, but women with AFib have a higher risk of stroke and death than men. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. Diet and exercise are key to staying healthy. Know the risks. Women Heart does something really unique, solely focusing on women and providing peer-to-peer support. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
And now we return to My Hometown.
Thanks for being with us here today on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman, and today we're talking about the popular fitness regimen, Barre, with Suzanne Villani, owner of BarreBlend, located at 1615 Merrick Road in Merrick. And remember, go in the back door.
So you were telling us before that really what BarreBlend specializes in it's a boutique, it's a small studio, and it sounds like it's a much more intimate, more personal workout than if you would take a bar class at a larger gym. You called them big box gyms.
Yes.
So what I want to know is, like, what is the size of these classes? Like a range of people on the usual day.
My studio is small, so it is boutique and small. So my max size class for bar class would be 12 people. I like to keep classes at 10 or lower. I find that I'd like to really get to know the clients, have a relationship with them, get to know everybody's injuries, their fears. You'd be surprised some people, are afraid to do a squat. So once you're able to do that, you're able to work with them and become like a little family, and it just makes the class better for them, better for me. If you go to a big gym, which I call a big box gym, there could be 50 people in the class. The instructor has no idea who anyone is. The instructor doesn't know if you have an injury. I think it's really important that people take a class, especially for the first time. They wake up sore the next day. The second day is usually the most. Sore is one thing, hurt is another. So if you had a bad injury, a bad knee perhaps, and I didn't restrict your range of motion because I didn't know you had a bad knee. You bend too far, your knee hurts, you're going to say, bar's not for me. And you're never coming back to the bar class. If I know who you are and I take 5 seconds to, say, hey, this isn't going to work for you, you have to keep your heels down because your injury, you're getting the stretching, you're getting the soreness of the muscles around it, but you're not feeling any injury. So you're going to come back, you're going to love it. And I think that's really for any class. I feel like when classes are too big, you don't get that one-on-one attention. You don't get to, really focus on making sure that you're getting the most out of the class.
Now, I think you mentioned when we were talking before that form is important. What are you looking for when you're working with people on bar exercises or a program? I'm maybe not using the right terms there.
Yeah, no, form is really, really important. So if you're standing, you want to make sure that you're stacked. So your head is really straight, lifting up toward the sky. Your shoulders are square facing forward. Your shoulders are straight over your hips. You'd be surprised. Some people usually will shift their weight into one side or the other. While you're standing there, you want to feel your weight from the tip of your toes all the way through your heel. Core is engaged. Your weight is centered. So, if you start in a good form, you do an exercise, you'll execute it properly, and you'll get the best results out of it.
You know, I don't know if you noticed me moving while you were talking. I'm thinking, I'm leaning to my right. You're watching me. I'm with the expert. I better get at least, even though I'm sitting down, we certainly aren't doing bar exercises.
I'm all of a sudden like so self-conscious like how of my posture.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised it makes such a difference. You could do this even just at home. And you know what? If you're sitting up in your chair and core's engaged, you'll be sore tomorrow because you just don't even realize
You're using new muscles.
You're using muscles that you wouldn't ordinarily use. And if your core is strong, you're going to have less pressure. Guess what? Your back will stop hurting. And that's really the great thing about a bar class. You know, you're really going to build up the muscles that are important and take some pressure off the muscles that are doing too much work.
See what you've done already? You're teaching us, and we're not even in your studio. We're both sitting up correctly and thinking, am I leaning? Are you looking at me? Am I leaning to the left, to the right? Am I centered? So, Corey?
So what I'm curious about is like one of the biggest hurdles to getting into workout is like keeping kind of the workout fresh. So like how do you kind of change? Do you change it up every week?
That's a great question.
Are there like different types of bar classes? Is there hot bar?
Well, bar
like hot
typically
yoga?
ends hot, but
okay.
No, I do not. I do not like hot bar, and only because I can't stand sweating, and I sweat pretty easily. No, I think that I like to start the class with everybody coming in cold from the street because you really do a proper warm up. Your muscles get warm, and you create your own heat. I feel like for me personally, if I'm hot when I walk in the door, I can't wait to get out of there. So it's a great question, though, about changing it up. I'm huge on changing it up. You'll never take my class and feel like it's been the same class. So constantly new playlists. I always change the order of things. There are basic exercises in a bar class that you're always going to work on. You know, your lunges, your squats, some extensions, but you change the order. You add a pulse. You add a heel raise. Mm-hmm. To you, it's a new exercise. So I'm always keeping the classes different.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. How it's like it's there's an element of dance in it. It's like, what kind of music are you playing usually?
So depending on the class.
What's the Spotify playlist?
I have lots of Spotify playlists. So a ballet bar class, I have classical music. I'll have, barrio class is dance music. I do theme classes, so I'll have a country class. It's all country music. I'll do 80s when I, ask people to come in fluorescent clothes just to keep it fun. Cool. So lots and lots of playlists.
Wait, those are my regular clothes, those fluorescent clothes.
It sounds like a lot of fun, doing some pirouettes to like some Marvin Gaye,
There you go.
So you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the popular fitness regime Barre with Suzanne Villani, owner of BarreBlend, located at the rear of 1615 Merrick Road in Merrick.
Suzanne, you used a word in there. I think you snuck it in for a lot of us, but I picked it up because I'm sharp now that I've had the good posture. What's bardio? Did I hear that correctly?
You heard bardio.
Okay.
So bardio is a class I created. It's a bar class with a cardio concept. So it's going to be the fastest of the classes at my studio. Heart rate will be increased for a majority of the time. So still low impact, always holding on, always 1 foot on the ground, but moving pretty quickly. You will do jumping jacks, do some mountain climbers. It is the highest intensity class that I offer at the studio, but cardio, still good for everybody because there are modifications that you could use. Being that there's a bar there, you can always move 1 foot, one arm. You always have that balance if you need it. Even in my regular bar classes, I'll find if people need to be a little bit challenged, they're in the middle of doing something on their toes. I'm like, okay, hands are off the bar, because everybody gets back in check and their core's engaged and they have to pull themselves up. People can get lazy in a bar class like any other class and use the bar to hold them up. That's another thing I'm big on. I'm making sure hands are just touching the bar, not gripping the bar.
I would think a misconception would be something that I spoke to you about before the show. I think of when I think of someone, say, bar exercises or that room and usually has a mirror on the side when I see it on TV, or at least the way they portray it. Do your clients have to be dancers involved with dance, or should they be? Does that matter if they're a total klutz like someone at this table
No.
who's talking now?
You do not need to have any dance background. The bar is purely there just for balance. And a funny thing is when people call me, say, oh, I was interested in trying a bar class, but I have to tell you I can't put my foot on the bar. You're never going to put your foot on the bar.
I thought that was...
No, and I do have a stretch class where, people do work their way up to getting their foot on the bar, and you'd be surprised most people can actually do it. But no, you don't need to have a dance background. You do not need to be able to put your foot on the bar. You don't have to put your foot over your head. The only connection really that has to dance is the actual bar itself.
And you used another word that's really, I guess, popular and cool because some football players are using it now and athletes, core. Does this work, whatever is considered to be the core muscles? And
Absolutely.
Explain that to us.
Absolutely. So, with any exercise, proper form typically will involve core, but bar in particular, you're standing up straight. Once you take one foot off the floor, if you could visualize yourself doing that, you're automatically going to rest your weight in the standing hip because that's where everybody's balance is. If you make sure your shoulders stay put over the hips, use your core to pull you up, your balance actually comes from the belly. And the head is straight, and I say straight between the shoulders because you're reaching, even sitting down, you want to think about your head reaching toward the sky and everything coming out of the center. So the class focuses on core the entire time without realizing it because I'm constantly like, pull up, guys, pull up, guys, pull up, guys. If I have you, in a wide V with your feet, meaning your feet are separated, you're on your toes and your legs are bent, and you're holding on, and I say take your arm off the bar, guess what? You have to use that core or you're going to fall forward. Okay, so core is always engaged during a bar class. It's a great, we do abs at the end of every class for a few minutes, but you're using your core the entire time.
And I'm just thinking, you never, or at least I haven't seen an overweight dancer or someone who's out of shape, certainly. They might be a few pounds more than the required on the doctor's list, but they're always in good shape and physically fit.
Absolutely.
So.
And you will definitely get toned legs, even if that's not really what you're looking for. And having legs that are in shape is great for your whole life. You
just feel better about yourself.
You feel better, and you know what? You want to be able to walk. So, the stronger your legs are, the better off you're going to be. There's really no doubt about it. So,
what I'm curious about is who are the types of people coming to your class? Are these older people? Are these younger people? Are these people who are already in shape, or they're trying to get into shape, or maybe they tone their muscles?
Typically, my range of clientele is from about 30 to 55, and it's sort of funny because I do get some younger people that come take bar, and they take bar because they danced, so they just assume it's dancey. Older people I found attract themselves to bar because they've tried yoga, and they hear a ballet bar class, and that will be their introduction to bar, and it's something that's nothing like yoga. However, they feel like they can connect it because they're afraid of high-impact classes. So, most of my clients don't particularly care for a CrossFit type of high-impact class. But then, I have a lot of them that do CrossFit, and they come to me for their toning and their stretching to keep themselves flexible. I have a lot of runners take my class. It's really a real range of different people, and I think a lot of people realize if they combine bar with other types of fitness, overall it's just a really great thing to include.
And I think you told us before the show if someone wants to just walk in and give it a try, they can do that. They
Absolutely.
don't have to commit to anything. It's not a yearly package or something.
No membership fee. You can come and take a class anytime. I welcome everybody to give it a try.
Well, I thank you for all the information, for both Corey and myself, for educating us on the field of bar, what's included, etc., and for being here today. Suzanne Villani, owner of BarreBlend, located at 1615 Merrick Road in Merrick. And remember, go in the back door, so don't get lost. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'd like to remind our audience that I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman, and today we're thanking you for being with us on 90.3 WHPC.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to whpc@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.